Hey you folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Slay the Spire. Today, we are going to be doing a run as the Silent on Ascension level 3 over here. And what I'd really hope is I would love if we could do a poison run, because it's been a while since I've done one, and the poison stuff is the thing that appealed to me the most when I first started playing the Silent. The problem is it really depends on the right combination of stuff. The Specimen Relic is particularly important, and to lethalize things properly, you really do need at least one, if not ideally two, of the things that double/triple a poison stack on something. So, and it's like, there's a few more ways to sort of like combo together some sort of shivvy type build, because it's just about some sort of vague card efficiency or something, so we'll see. I'm very tempted to take the route where we lose the starting relic, so we have less of a great opening turn, but get a random boss relic. Obviously, it's super random, but it might be the way to go just for funsies, and we'll basically build around whatever the heck that is. Losing half of our hit points is probably a little too harsh. An upgrade isn't bad, though. You know what? Just upgrading Neutralize right off the bat? How good is that? Oh, I think that's super good. Obtaining the gold effectively turns into remove one card, in a sense, without losing all your HP, and that's not bad. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm really going to like having the upgraded Neutralize. I mean, one extra tick of damage, sure, but mostly it's about the 2 stacks of weak. I suppose I could have looked at the map before making any choices. So, Ascension Mode 3, we got more elites, and they're deadlier, and normal enemies are also deadlier, so fun. We're still going to want to hit as many elites as we can, especially early on to get some relics. Looks to me like a good branch would probably be something like this. There are going to be 3 normal fights, but there's not really any way to avoid a bunch of normal fights, regardless. Actually, looks like 3 is sort of going to be the minimum, no matter where we kind of end up. Then we've got a shop into an elite, and then we can go rest, elite, treasure chest, and then we can choose here if we're going to go through another elite, and I think that's going to be okay. Fairly, you know, lots of elites, and they are going to be deadly, or whatever that means, so I'm a little scared, but I think we're going to be okay. Alright, we've got the louses over here. A mitt full of defends right away. Looks like I can probably, I'll just defend once. We will take 1 damage, but I think it's going to be okay to just pop the roll-ups on both of them, and that's going to be okay. Unlike the Ironclad, we can't really... Spitweb is just a weaken, okay. Which actually will make it a lot harder to kill these guys off because of only 4 damage. Looks like, I guess I could kill the attacker, but I got to survive anyway, so I'll kill the other guy. That's going to be fine. And we'll do 1 strike over here and then just survivor. Boom, done. Oh wait, I could have just killed him. I'm such a derp. I'm such a derp. Alright, we've already got 1 mistake going on. Luckily, it wasn't a problematic one. I was very focused on not taking damage, which is true, but we could have just gone for lethal. Okay, I don't like crippling poison, even though I'm talking about I would love to do a poison build. It's pretty expensive and doesn't generate a lot of poison. It does generate a lot of weak, which can avoid a lot of damage. I really like Endless Agony, actually. It's surprisingly good. Quick Slash is okay, obviously, if you get any kind of energy generators, but we don't have anything like that. An early Endless Agony is actually a huge extra source of damage when we don't have the energy to really combo a lot of stuff. I think I'm going to grab it. Now I'm all of a sudden thinking, okay, we're going for not literally a Shiv thing, but, you know, some sort of infinite cycle deck. I could have just taken nothing, I suppose, but I think this was fine. So, oh, I mismathed on this guy over here. I thought he was going to be weakened enough that I wouldn't take any damage with just a regular defend. And there was no reason not to survivor. Okay, I gotta slow down. I'm always like, I try to keep up the pace, because I know the later videos really lag on this, because there's so many more decisions to make, but I'm making a mistake here by not thinking things through properly. I will double defend here to not take anything, and we'll hit him for a little bit more. Although, again, I didn't do the check. Do I have lethal or do I not? So I took 1 unnecessary point of damage so far. 1 unnecessary point of damage, and I'm very disappointed about that. There's no way we have lethal. We can go ahead and survivor to not take any damage, though, and then just hit him once and twice. Okay. He's going to rake, which I think has a debuff on it. Yeah, weakened again. We need 3 attacks, but we could... Nope, we don't have it. I will still strike him, because we're not frailed, and then just block everything. If we were frailed, I think we would have needed to use all 3 blocks not to do anything. And there's a strike. Boom. Okay. So 1 unnecessary point of damage so far. And that sort of stuff adds up. The Ironclad's got a lot more of a margin of error for that sort of thing, but not here. Okay, Catalyst is a key card in a poison deck. Key. And I'm very tempted to take it blind, even though we don't have any poison, because I want to do that. That being said, accuracy is insanely important for a Shiv deck. We don't have any Shiv cards yet, but it's the same thing. We could take one of those blind, or we could take Cloak and Dagger to start working towards a Shiv deck. Like, forcing an archetype is bad. Thing is, if I take Cloak and Dagger, I guess it's always okay, regardless of what we end up doing. So we'll do that. I don't know. If I end up getting like a specimen here, I'll be kind of salty. Remove a card from our deck. Well, I think since we've picked up a couple of attacks, we'll go ahead and get rid of a strike. Boom. Easy peasy decision. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Gonna get a normal encounter here. Let's see if we can get through it actually, you know, as clean as possible. Only one attacker. Cloak and Dagger will, in fact, soak that for us. And we can actually lethalize him before he even attacks. And while that does probably what we want to do. I mean, the Cloak and Dagger, then maybe I shouldn't have done it. Take 2 seconds to think about things, Quill. It's not that hard. Yeah, it probably is worth eliminating him. But yeah, I could have just applied more damage to the big slime if I had used a strike instead of the Cloak and Dagger. Take 2 seconds. God, I'm rushing too much. I have had a lot of coffee this morning. So, you know, that's not going to help. All right, obviously start with the weekend. And what do you think? Are we gonna just block a bunch? Do we just block a bunch? We don't barricade, which is too bad. The calipers on the Silent doesn't tend to come up as useful that often, although in the last run it was pretty good. So we'll stack a little bit more of that. We'll go ahead and just do this to take nothing and end up 1 short of lethal. But we take no damage, so that's okay. So we got a clean fight over here. That's great, because every hit point really matters on this fella over here. Die. Alright, what you got for me? A Swift Potion is very nice. Alright, we're going to take Poison Stab. Again, we got the Shiv, we got the Endless Agony. There's sort of like an anti-combo here. In fact, we could just take the Slice. Now, the Slice by itself isn't super strong, but if we can get card draw mechanic, all of a sudden we can go on an explosive sort of thing like that. I really want to go a Poison deck. Is it too late? It's not that late. And you know what? Poison Stab is a lot of damage. Let's just do it. Let's force the archetype. That's a bad idea. Don't do this. Do not do what I do. We get the backflip, which is nice if you got extra energy. We got Noxious Fumes here, which is always good. Always good. It's not on sale, which is too bad, but we're going to do it. I mean, the card draw is really nice, especially since I do have a few ways to generate cheaper card draws, or cheaper card plays. It's a possibility. I can't remove a card anymore. I suppose I should have double-checked the relics here, but there wasn't anything. Flechette, no, Dagger Spray is very good, but whatever we're doing, we're not doing a Dagger Spray type compatible thing. Prepared, it is card disadvantage, and I've poo-pooed that before, but having a little cycling isn't the worst idea. I mean, you're drawing and then discarding a card. You could have just drawn that card. Here's the thing, right? You're drawing the next card in your deck. If you didn't have Prepared in your deck, you would have drawn that next card instead of Prepared in the first place. So, if you don't have a bad card in your deck, that's just going to always be a dead draw, like, or other cycling things. I think we're just gonna save the money. But I have seen like the perks of Prepared in certain scenarios, but I don't think this is it. All right, here is our deadlier than normal elite. Hit points are the same so far. Oh, you do 1 extra point of damage so far. So I think they normally do 8, so he's going to do a little bit more. He's got the least amount of hit points over here. The other thing we could do, though, is we could consider loading here, because I think they alternate their attacks, so this guy's going to be attacking next round. Is there any chance we can just lethalize him by setting things up? I mean, we've got most of our attacks in our hand. Actually, next hand is almost certainly, these are randomized, we don't have the order, but we're not going to draw enough to do any kind of lethal magic. So I think I should focus on this one and try to kill him before he gets his next round of attacks on me. I think we just Survivor and drop a bunch of strikes. I mean, we could Cloak and Dagger as well, but that'll do a little bit less damage than the strikes. So we Survivor to block almost all of it, and then we just strike twice. Keep in mind, one of the attacks we're going to draw is going to be that Poison Stab, which is not going to be as helpful against these guys because they'll just artifact up the poison. Although if I draw the Neutralize, I could probably use the Neutralize to pop the artifact, which I think would be for the best. We did get the Endless Agonies, and we didn't get our Poison Stab. Now, I can't weaken these guys because of their artifact stuff. So we're going to be focusing on dealing damage on this fellow with our free cards. I don't think there's any reason to save the Endless Agonies. Sometimes what you do is you let them go into your discard pile, so you draw them again later, and then you have more of them, and you just can go on an explosive thing. But we don't have the ability to really go explosive here, and they haven't been upgraded, so it's a lot less tempting. So we'll bring the Sentry quite low. Probably we can kill him next turn without him being able to attack us, and then we'll just triple block up. Like that. So we'll take 3 damage here, but that's not bad for an elite. I mean, I could use my Swift Potion, but I don't think so. I mean, we used all our energy, and I think it was a relatively decent move. Okay, we take a little bit of damage, and yeah, hopefully we can kill this guy without taking damage. He is vulnerable to the Poison Stab, and we will, in fact, have to use both attacks on him to kill him, because the Noxious Fume won't trigger anything. This will do a total of 8 on his turn, which won't be enough to kill him, so we will do that, so we'll be taking nothing. We'll be getting a mitt full of... and I'll do this, even though they'll artifact away the first one. We'll be getting a mitt full of Dazes, but it's not so terrible. We used up all of our energy, so we didn't need the Swift Potion. I did actually think to look for it, though. Good on me. Takes a few fights to warm up. You are gonna... Okay. So lots of attacks and lots of defense. I mean, turn plays itself. We'll attack the guy who's got the least amount of hit points. That's gonna be fine. Get rid of the Dazes, and they'll start to accrue a little bit of poison. The Noxious Fume isn't gonna do much in this fight, especially since we didn't get it very early. But it's still going to be worth a few points of AoE damage, effectively, so that's not too bad. Another turn that clearly plays itself. We'll keep bringing this guy down as much as possible. The defend does nothing, but we'll play it because what the heck? We don't have Ice Cream or anything like that, so no reason to preserve cards in our hand, and it feels good to play cards. That's one of the big things in this game. Like, you know, building decks is fun, killing things is fun. It's just fun to play cards. So, I don't have lethal in this guy. I was just double checking to see if it was going to be a waste to neutralize him or not. We're going to be able to strike, defend. Annoyingly, this is going to discard the Daze, which means it's still in my deck, but I needed to play the neutralize to mitigate as much damage as possible. I suppose I could have drawn there and discarded something else just to thin my deck, but I don't think that makes any sense whatsoever. If I still had the what do you call it? The zero cost attacks that I started with, then it might have been thing. So you got 4 points of poison here. You aren't going to attack me this turn. I could kill you before you add a Daze to my deck, but I don't think that's critical. I'm just going to go ahead and attack you twice, and I won't play the Survivor because I don't want to discard the Daze. I want them to get exhausted, since they're not hitting me anyway. You're going to die on your next turn. We should be able to kill you, I suspect, before you can attack me. Depending on if I draw a whole bunch of Dazes or not, I think we should have lethal. So he's not going to be able to attack me. And, yeah, with 8 on the poison, we're going to be more than fine over here. Boom. Done and done. Okay, so we're down 10 HP in total, which means we lost 8 in this fight, which is pretty good for an elite. We got the Dead Branch. Whenever you exhaust a card, add a random card to your hand. It's interesting, because, I mean, it's got pros and cons. It is a random card, although it goes directly to your hand, which means you got a chance to use it here. The game really wished I had gone Shiv build, which we're not too late to do that. I mean, I could just grab Malaise. It is a pretty good defensive card. Or I could take nothing. It also exhausts. You know what? Let's stick to the poison plan. I could just skip, but I'm going to grab that because I do have the Dead Branch. So we're going to rest for an upgrade and then keep going down the elites here to try to pick up some relics. So what's our priority for upgrading? Part of me wants to say Noxious Fumes, because it's always so strong just to get more passive poison. The upgraded Malaise is pretty good because even if you cast it at 0, it still gives you a defensive buff. Endless Agony becomes a 12 damage draw instead of an 8 damage draw, and, you know, becomes maybe a little bit more tempting to just leave it there. You get extra poison stacks with Poison Stab. You get the extra shivs with Cloak and Dagger, which is, you know, fair bit more damage. It's 6 block 8 damage instead of 6 block 4 damage. More so if you boost it, but we don't really have the boosters for it. I think the Noxious Fumes becomes kind of a no-brainer. It's just such a solid source of ongoing damage. And I'm going to be okay with that. You know, there's arguments for other things, but upgrading Noxious Fumes is never wrong. Alright, now what we might want to do here, is, I was going to say, delay until we've got our Noxious Fumes, because we've got like 3 turns to kind of build up over here. I don't know how much of a build-up we exactly have. Well, what we don't have here, I think we're going to Cloak and Dagger. I think I'm going to preload my deck with these zero-cost attacks. It could, you know, hurt, and these are all exhaust things. That's true. With the shivs, we got the exhaust tech, but then you load your deck with random stuff going forward. I'm just going to pass this one, because we might be able to preload a little bit more poison with a Poison Stab. Hitting with a Poison Stab, let's just say, won't wake him up. Depends, because he's going to take damage at the start of his turn from poison, actually. After the armor goes away, presumably. So he'll maybe wake up on his turn. Shoot, I think he will. Because I assume the armor goes away at the start of his turn and then the poison hits him. So he's going to wake up on his go regardless. So I may as well go ahead and hit him for a bunch. I'm wondering if I should Swift Potion here. And I'm gonna, because this guy can be pretty dangerous. There's the Poison Stab. That's what I was looking for over there. Okay. So front load as much damage as possible on this guy. We won't need the artifact on this fight, because at some point he does, I think, steal my strength and dexterity. But that is, that does not count as a debuff. So let's start with these Endless Agonies, because I'm curious to see what it's going to add to my deck. 1,000 cuts isn't terrible, but you know we need our mana here. What else we get? Corpse Explosion. Yeah, that's a card I don't particularly care for. You have to load so much poison to make that like worthwhile, but maybe. And the energy use. So we only have 1 defense. I guess we'll go ahead and use it, and we'll Poison Stab him some more, and I'll just strike him. At least we're doing a fair amount of damage very quickly to him, but we're going to take 10 damage here, which is a bit unpleasant. But yeah, he's definitely on a clock, especially with our Noxious Fumes over here. So here's a 20 attack. We can neutralize him, though, now, which is nice. And Survivor plus 1 defend. He is going to block everything we need. There we go. Or, not everything we need. I was thinking the 13 here, 15, but 2 is fine. We could have taken nothing, but I think, you know, shortening it slightly. So this is where he's going to steal some strength, but that's going to be fine. Well, let's double Endless Strike and see what we end up with. We end up with a well-laid plans. We end up with a dash, which will give us block, which isn't useful. Can we kill him this turn? I'm not sitting here doing the math. The Shiv will cycle to another card. There's Bullet Time, which actually is pretty great. So, no, we can't kill him, but we may as well malaise him for some few points and add something else random to my deck. And we can choose something to retain. I suppose I could, I don't have any card draw anyway. We'll just retain the Bullet Time. And because it's fun. So he's dead next turn anyway, so it hardly matters, but let's have a Bullet Time turn. Reduce cost of cards in hand to 0. So, I don't know. You know what? Let's test it right now. If I Bullet Time and then Shiv. Ah, see, he still has a mana cost. That's what I want to test right there. I mean, he's dead regardless from the poison, but there's a good opportunity to check it. We got a Singing Bowl. When adding cards to your deck, you may gain +2 8 max HP instead. That's going to be very tempting. Now, Deadly Poison is a poison card, obviously. It's not my favorite of all the poison cards. And there's something to be said about max HP, and in this game, when you gain max HP, I haven't tested this one yet, but when you gain max HP, your current HP goes up as well. I mean, we could just Storm Steel and really combo off Dead Branch, but it's such a random thing. Let's grab the poison. It's not my favorite poison card, but let's go. We really do need a specimen, though. Unceasing Top! Okay, the game really wants me to just go to, like, infinite card play. Okay, Screw poison. In fact, we might remove the poison cards. This guy's going to be a little bit tricksy here. Except we are going to start with the melees. So he's going to be annoying here because we do have quite a few skills. We're going to start with removing a bunch of strength and giving a bunch of weak. And drawing a flechette, which might be okay. I'm going to leave the Endless Agonies in here because he gains more strength. He's about to buff himself now with the thing. Gains more strength every time I play a skill. I don't remember if he, like, makes you vulnerable. He does put a negative effect on you here. It might be something like that. I'm going to drink that potion. I don't remember exactly what he does. So poison, like, deadly poison is a skill. Cloak and Dagger is a skill. It's not great, but I think we're going to have to just accept it. We'll shiv him, see what we get. Get a distract, which is kind of nice. And yeah, with this Unceasing Top, we have to build around zero-cost cards. I should have grabbed that zero-cost attack earlier and just build around that because we want to be able to cycle our stuff as much as possible. Noxious Fumes is not a skill, which is nice, and I do want it in play. We're going to neutralize you to keep you weak. And I think we double defend. I realize that does make him stronger, but we do have the poison ticking down on him. And we do have a bunch of zero-cost cards that we can sort of burst down here. So I think it's okay to do this right now. We can't really delay forever, but a little bit of delay is not terrible. So we have one skill, so that's just a 1-point attack. Where's it go? That's an actually attack and block, which is really nice here. I think I'm going to go ahead and use that. And now I have 2 skills, so I can actually hit him for 8 with this, which I think is what I'm going to do here, rather than play some of these skills and whatnot. Acrobatics is going to be a high priority card-ish with Unceasing Top. We do need to get a little bit of energy generation or zero-cost cards to really have Unceasing Top go out like crazy. Distraction is a skill. He's got 9 hit points, effectively, so we can just double strike him. That's fine. Here, we'll Distraction just to see what we get. Oh, Reflexes, which is not handy. And, oh yeah, and that's an exhausting card, too. Alright, blow you up with poison. Against Nob, not an altogether bad fight. Bronze scales, so that's always fine. God, now it's taunting us with the poison cards. None of these cards helps our sort of infinite draw / maybe exhaust tech deck. The thing is, this is going to add cards that might be too expensive to combo with Unceasing Top, but it's going to be fun. I don't think we're going to prioritize exhaust stuff, although we will end up with shivs and things, so maybe. We're just going to take the max HP, and we did get current XP boost, so that's going to be okay. We'll hit you. Get a bunch of these curl-up guys. Poison does bypass that, so that might be something to look at. Only 1 attack in the first round. Can we kill him? He's effectively got 18 HP. That's 20 HP worth of damage. And it leaves us 1 mana to maybe just poison someone. So, tell you what, we'll, it doesn't matter, because the next thing has to go through all of it anyway, yeah. No cards in your draw pile, grand finale. Piercing Wail, all enemies lose. That's not going to do it for us. Done and done. And I will... He's got a lot of armor. We're just going to go and try to kill him via poison or something. We'll see. Well, now if we hit him for 6, he's going to die without triggering his curl up, which is nice. We did get weakened here, so that's going to be slightly annoying. So we can't kill him with that. We can double tap him. We'll probably do that because... resisting his 11 is going to be kind of annoying. Oh, I didn't need to hit him again. He was going to die from poison. God, I'm incompetent. So he's going to still hit me over here. And we'll do that. So I could have ended the fight sooner. We will end this clean without taking damage, but not clean in the sense of not making a play error. And we've been a little kerfuffly with our deck so far. We might even have to like start removing things we've already put in. Which is always unfortunate. But we have a clear thing we have to go for. We have to go for the infinite combo build. And now Prepared becomes amazing. With the spinning top, or the Unceasing Top, Prepared is insane. Skewer's not bad either, actually, though, because Skewer, you can play it for 0, which will still combo another Unceasing Top Draw. The thing is, Prepared and the Dead Branch becomes very good, because we might end up with expensive cards that interrupts our Unceasing Top combo, and now Prepared becomes fine, because we don't care about card efficiency anymore. We actually are perfectly happy just emptying our deck every single time. We only have a question mark on a regular fight coming up. I think we're going to take an upgrade here to try to make the regular fight slightly better. We'll probably be forced to heal right at the end. Let's see here. I don't think there's any reason to upgrade Prepared, although it does make it even maybe easier to cycle some stuff, and that's not too shabby. I think what we do is we upgrade Endless Agony, because it is going to be 4 extra damage on a draw. Or, sorry, maybe Cloak and Dagger. It will trigger more Dead Branches, but that's not necessarily bad at all. So let's do that. And they go into your hand, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be random as hell, but it's going to be fun. It's going to keep thickening our deck. Receive a Golden Idol, trigger a trap. Let's do that. And, you know what? I think we can afford to just lose the max HP, because we have some max HP gain. And I'd rather see if we can just sneak in another upgrade here, rather than take a heal. It's a little tricksy, but with some deck manipulation against the Hex boss here, right, we can discard some of the burns. That's not too shabby. Okay, he's going to start by debuffing me. That's fine. I think I'll save the Poison Potion for the actual boss, but I will go and stack a bunch of poisons on this guy while I don't have to defend. That's going to be okay. Now, the poison will be lost when he splits, which is very annoying. The slime bosses are the most annoying as a poison deck, because there's no way around that. He's still not going to attack me. Got a Bullet Time added to our deck. We got a Grand Finale added to our deck. Do I want to malaise right now, just to see more cards? I'll do that. You know what? I will do that. Oh, no, it's going to use all my mana. I was going to say, I'll do that before I strike. Let's see, he's going to split at 33. He's going to be at 39 right now. If I strike him... Oh, but I'm weakened, so it actually won't split him on the poison, which I like. I'm going to save the malaise. Here. Pointless defend. So he splits next turn. He's going to lick me for a debuff, so I'm very weakened. And now I think, yeah, he'd attack me, but we're clearly going to split him. And the hope here... And the Prepared will help for this, is that we're just going to bring him down as low as possible. I'll start with the Prepared, that's fine. That is very handy. We won't need to defend. Well, or the Survivor, really. And the Survivor can actually help us trigger our redraws here. So we're going to get some extra cards. Backstab's handy, because it's free. Doppelganger's handy, because it's also free and exhausts. Okay, the Dead Branch is really going to make it hard to combo the Unceasing Top if we keep grabbing exhaust cards here. I do like Alchemize, because it's another potion to bring into the next thing. There you go. I'm going to prepare away probably the Survivor. No. Let me prepare away the... It doesn't matter which one. I'll play Survivor, discarding the last one so we get a redraw. And it's Grand Finale, which ends our combo. Anyway, we're just shy of lethal him. We could go and poison him to kill him rather than allowing the split. But I want to save the poison for the boss. So we'll just do that. And I bet you there was a way for me to find lethal in there. So we got a couple of 3 hit point dudes. As long as we draw 2 strikes or something, we're going to be fine. Neutralize and a strike. Even weakened, that's perfectly okay. And I think we did that without taking any damage, which is wonderful. Okay, we have to go outmaneuver because it's insane with the Unceasing Top. Sometimes outmaneuver can actually hurt your tempo a little bit, but as long as you've got anything that leads to extra draws, it becomes insane. I think outmaneuver is going to be so strong in this scenario, it's our top priority to upgrade, just because of the Unceasing Top. And actually, it will help us play more of these Dead Branch cards, too. Alright, let's go in here. We're going to start with the poison. Does he attack on the first round? I think he does, right? No. He just preps. Okay, so we don't have to weaken him right away, but we will certainly poison him right away. And, We only have 3 energy here. I'm actually wondering if it just makes sense to give him a max malaise right away. Take away his strength. He does like to multi-attack. I think that's just what I'm going to do. We are on a bit of a time limit to kill this guy, but I think this actually gives us a huge amount of extra options. A Nightmare over here, so expensive. And I'm just going to save the Endless Agonies, because, like, with the spinning top, unceasing top, I keep doing that, you can really have some pretty nutty turns there. And whether we attack him, hurt him this turn or later doesn't make any difference. So he's going to hit us for zeros! That's handy. The outmaneuver becomes an obvious play. We are going to deadly poison him. And I guess we'll strike him, ending our mana over here. We do also have the weak potion, but he's still weak for now, so we don't have to worry about that. We do have the Thorns effect, which is great against this guy, especially when he's hitting me for 0. Now, we don't have to worry about preserving our hit points for the rest of the run here, so I think, and we have tons of energy, I think what we do is we Poison Stab, Strike, Strike, Prepared, dropping the Defend, Noxious Fumes, draw some more cards, and just cycle a little bit more here. We get a Nightmare, which ends our little run here, which is too bad. And we'll take nothing. And he'll take 3. And the poison's ticking. Alright. Starting to get burns, but not too many. Can we go off with, like, all the things? Well, we're going to end up with a lot of extra cards in our hand because of the Dead Branch. So let's start by playing these Endless Agonies. Envenom, yes. We're going to take 3 this turn, but that's okay. Because each one of these Endless Agonies will end up generating some extra poison stacks, a bunch of cards filling our deck in ways we might not want. Oh, he's not weakened anymore. I mean, it doesn't matter, because he's only going to hit me for 3. I think we've got this. I think we'll keep the weakened, actually. I'm more worried about the elite fights that are going to come up. Here, he's going to be weakened this way. He's not hitting me this turn, so boom, boom, boom. And we don't have the I double poison thing. We might want to pick one up. The thing is, there's a good chance we'll get one at random from the Dead Branch here. I think we base things around the infinite, like, card play, and then we'll just get some random crap along the way. It's going to be a very RNG deck with the Dead Branch. But it's entertaining. It's not necessarily good, but it's entertaining. Well, let's Prepared. Get rid of the burn. And consider. Even with the Bouncing Flask, we can't kill him this turn. I think we outmaneuver. We don't even have to defend. He's not going to kill us. If we Bouncing Flask, we make it much more likely we can just kill him next turn. He's going to get 6 points of reflected damage. Yeah, I mean, he's dead to poison regardless next turn, so it's moot discussion. He just instantly dies. I'm going to take an extra couple of damage there, but here. There we are. Here. I'll Nightmare the Envenom. What a stupid, stupid play. Doesn't matter. I could have just ended the turn right away, but it was fun. Alright. So we get a bunch of gold. We get a card. Storm of Steel, I think, actually becomes like a weird anti-combo with Dead Branch. Envenom's not bad, but they're very expensive to play. I'll just take the max HP. That's going to be okay. And relic-wise, I think Ectoplasm is going to be okay. We've got plenty of gold in the bank already. And the extra energy is what we need to make Unceasing Top go crazy, go nuts. The Double Flame guy, that's the guy with the minions. So if we could accrue a little bit of AoE before the end of this act, that I think would be very handy. Overall, we've got a really random deck. One of these fights could go horribly wrong in bizarre ways, but we do have some synergy. It's a little awkward, but we've got a synergistic deck, and at least it stands out from most of the like infinite combo play decks because Dead Branch of Doom. Thanks for watching. We'll continue this next time.